It's 2021, okay? The world is changing. Things are a little bit different than they used to be. And if I was starting over again and I wanted to start a side hustle from zero, with no experience, no knowledge, no connections, from a dead stop with no momentum, this is exactly what I would do to make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible, right now. Check it out. All right, my friends, now you're in the studio now and we're having career conversations. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you want to start a business, and that's great for you. I'm so happy. And now we have to get to work. What do you do? What do you do if you're starting from zero? Look, business is fundamentally just providing a service or filling a gap in a market for something that people need that you have, that they want. And it can be a service or a product. Now, obviously, not everyone has identified what it is that they can provide and how they can get started. So I wanted to give you a framework for how I would think about starting a business from zero if I didn't have any of the resources I have now. I didn't have, the experience, and I didn't have, really anything to go off. And here's what I would do. The first thing is I would do a personal inventory of myself. This is part of my framework. It's taking this personal inventory. What are your skills? What are you good at? Don't tell me nothing. I don't want to hear it. Don't say nothing. You have something. Everybody has something. Now, how do you identify that? What do people tell you that you're good at teaching? What do people constantly ask you for advice on? What do people come to you for counsel on? These are things that people want to know from you, and you might not have ever thought them as business skills before. I mean, they could be that people always come to you to get their hair braided, or people always come to you to get advice about their relationships, or people always come to you when they need a sports massage. They come to you when they want help moving their house because they know you have a big truck. I mean, these are all examples of filling a need, right? And often if it's with family or friends, you're not thinking about the service you're providing as worthy of money. In fact, if you're doing a lot of this work for family and friends, it almost sometimes negates the idea that it's worth money because you think, well, no one would pay me for this. This is just something I do with my family and friends. But that is the mindset we're trying to break you free of. I want you to do a brain dump. Do a skill inventory. What are all the things that you've done in the past? Now, they could be things people ask you for. They could be skills or hobbies that you have. They could be maybe you're good at film production. Maybe you're good at singing. Maybe you're good at writing. Maybe you're good at organizing a space. All of these sound maybe like they're not business skills. Write them down anyway because we're going to use those, okay? Make this skill inventory. Now, the second part of this is I want you to take responsibility for understanding the marketplace. A lot of people don't understand what I mean when I say marketplace. And I say, open your eyes, Princess Jasmine. It's a whole new world. I want you to take responsibility for understanding what's happening in the business marketplace after you've understood what your potential skills are. You want to know what's happening, what's hot, what's my angle here? And this is very much what you're doing, here in this instance. You want to know what are the needs. How will you figure this out? Well, first of all, just understanding the trends in the general market. Now, I don't mean fads. Fads are like the fidget spinners from back in the day. A fad is a Furby. You guys remember Furby? I'm dating myself, okay? Those are fads. You want trends. Trends are like blockchain technology, increased memory speed in computers, automation, AR, AI. These are trends. Fads are blips, trends are curves. So you want to look for these trends, and you can see this in a couple of different ways. You can see this in a numerical representation, whether you're looking at the stock market or you're looking at some sort of actual economic chart. You can see this in the types of businesses that are getting invested in and the ones that are not getting disinvested in. I don't know if that's a word. You can see this in the amount of IPOs that are happening in a certain space. But you want to look to see what types of businesses are flourishing. This will give you an idea of essentially how to think, how to move, how to take your revenge with honor and live to tell about it. You want to understand what's happening. When you look at the market, you'll say, wow, I'm totally using my own experience here. But wow, there is a real surge in the incidence of web-based education for high school kids. Maybe I can do something in that space. I have a skill set here. Maybe there's a connection. At this point, you might not even know what that skill set is going to turn into in terms of a business, but you're starting to see the connections. You do the inventory, you do the market research. Now you know where the gaps are and where you might be able to fill those gaps. Now you're not done yet. A lot of people are still complaining, but Daniel, I still don't have an idea. I don't have an idea. First of all, let me just tell you something. And I feel the empathy. I feel for you. The idea crowd who are still lost, I don't have an idea. That is just the beginning of the journey. If I had $1 for every person who asked me what the best idea was, I would have many dollars, and we would have a lot of people who still haven't started, because you might be thinking that once you get that brilliant idea, that's going to be the spark that leads you to the flame. But what you don't know is that that idea will morph many times over a period of years, and it's not just about the idea, it's about the execution. That's really what it is. And it's about the clarity and the continued development and evolution of that idea, not just the one idea. I also caution you to know that if you got exactly what you wanted in your business right now at the stage that you're at, in a couple of years, you'd be very disappointed, because what you can imagine for yourself now isn't close to a fraction of what you can accomplish once you've gotten some experience behind you. So don't think that what you have in your mind is going to be the outcome. Know that can stretch and change. But developing that idea is very important. And to develop that idea, in the Foundr course, and of course just in my everyday life, I use a framework and I call it AMMO, okay? What is AMMO? It's an acronym. It stands for Avatar, Marketing Message, Offer. This is how I start to think about ideas. Once I've done a skill inventory, written it all down, then I've done some market research, I've looked for the gaps, then I use this AMMO process. Basically what I do is I say avatar, okay? Who is your avatar? Who are we trying to talk to here? I can think of a million different types of people all day who you might be able to serve, or types of businesses that you might be able to serve, but really it comes down to your personal experience and who you feel most comfortable relating to. Remember that if you're helping a business owner or a person to accomplish something, oftentimes you are past that stage in your development. So you might not see your skill set or your ability as something that's very useful, because you've already transcended whatever the problem was that caused you to develop that skill set. Understand your avatar might not be you. That was my long tangential point about avatar. So your avatar. Now, after you get an idea for who they could be, you're a busy mom, you're also really good at fitness. Maybe you're training busy moms. See how that's going? You start to understand your avatar. Then you say, all right, what's the MM part of this? My marketing message. Marketing message is what you're saying. Avatar is who you're speaking to. Marketing message is what you're saying. So what are you saying? Your marketing message really comes down to how you present yourself. So online, this is in headlines, it's in body copy of your website, it's in your emails. That's like the technical part of marketing messaging. But it's also, how you're communicating what it is you have to offer. So for instance, let's say that let's go on this personal training riff. If you are a trainer who wants to help, let's say, executives who don't have a lot of time, your marketing message might be something like, burn up to 300 calories in 20 minutes, with my new HIT training, call for a consultation. Very infomercial of me, I'm just making it up. But there's a benefit laced into that statement. It says, you're busy. It has, an idea of how much it's going to take from your time. There's a quantity of how much they're going to get from it. The marketing message is very specific, and if I was a busy person, that would speak to me. Now, you could take the same type of training methodology, and by changing the marketing messaging, you might be able to attract a different type of client base. So take the same 20-minute workout and say, get back to your pre-baby shape with these awesome workouts for moms, especially good for busy moms who only have a little bit of time. It's the same workout, but the way you're communicating it attracts a different type of person. When you're doing your messaging and you're thinking about a demographic is a type of person that you would speak to, and there are certain vitals for them. Age, a sex, a location usually. This is like how companies do broad-based targeting, household income, all this type of stuff. And there is some good targeting to be had in demographically. Back in the 50s, when all the commercials on TV were new and TV was a brand new thing, they did broad-based demographic targeting. Hey ladies, do you want whiter teeth? Try Colgate. That's demographic targeting. Now you can get even more sophisticated. And then we have what's called psychographic targeting. So psychographic, when you're thinking about your marketing message, is thinking about what the type of person that you want to attract feels and thinks. And what are the things that will resonate with them that aren't part of one age or sex or religion or one location, but is something that people can share across many different spaces. So for instance, I'm a millennial. That's right, a millennial. We're the captains now. Just remember that. But if you're born in the late 80s, then you're going to have certain cartoon references. Rocko's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy, Doug, Cat Dog. I'm making, these shows are just like my favorite shows as a kid, Buzz Lightyear. And if I made a reference to one of those shows, I might say to you, every day when I would come home, I watched Buzz Lightyear after middle school. And people would say, wow, I watched The Adventures of Buzz Lightyear too. And we would get on that same wavelength. Not because I've had many other shared experiences that you might have, except for that one experience. And if I put that in my marketing copy, you know that we were on the same page. Little things like that. But you want to think about, what am I saying to my ideal customers? How am I saying it? So, zooming out again, this whole process. First, your skill dump. Then, what is it? Say it with me, market research. Then, avatar. Who is it that I'm selecting? Then, marketing message. What is it that I'm saying? How am I relating my service? And then the last part of AMMO, A-M-M-O, offer. Who am I targeting? What am I saying? What am I selling? Now this is what's really important, because even when people are very clear on who they're selling to and what they're saying, you ask them, okay, so what's the offer? And they're like, well, it's it's a project. It's like for instance, if we were working through maybe a web design business, you were a web design consultant or you were a developer and you want to work with, let's say, martial arts studio owners. You want to work with gym owners who are looking to get more clients. So your avatar is martial arts gym owners. Your marketing message is, we help you get more students and spend less time on your marketing. That's your message. Great, because we know we're targeting a specific type of person. Our marketing is very clear. But what's your offer? When someone says, I'd like to work with you, what types of packages do you have? What types of things are available for you to offer them? If you don't know what your offer is, it's very hard to sell someone. And this is what people forget. They expect that if they have a good conversation and they're pretty clear about wanting to do the work, people will just sign on the dotted line. But you need to be clear about what your pitch is. They have this whole idea of an elevator pitch. And an elevator pitch is just, it's a visualization to think that if you were going up to the top floor of an executive building and you only had 20 seconds, how would you pitch yourself? What would you say? And you should probably have that developed for your business. So if you were a web designer or a web developer, maybe you'd have 3 different packages. And you'd have a basic, a middle, and an advanced. And each package would have a few different things. And if you're a smart marketer, you might price them in a way where you could push people towards the middle, because you say, well, this one's, the smallest package is do it by yourself. The middle package is I'm going to do some of it with you. And the third package is we'll do it all for you. And all those are priced differently and accordingly based on the work and the assets you're going to have to bring and the intensity of the job. And so all of that is part of your offer. Now, it might seem like a lot, and maybe at first you only have one offer, but being very clear on what it is, being very clear on what someone gets when they sign up with you. When someone decides to hire us to write a book for them, they're going to get, X, Y, and Z. So you've done all this work to understand who you are, who the market is, and who your customer is and what your product is. And now, this is the fun part. You've done all this work. You've probably even gotten to the point where you might have gotten some people to hear about your business. You might have even gotten some sales just from talking about it, because that's a lot of times what happens. People don't understand that as soon as you start to put word out there that you have services available, as soon as you have offers to be purchased, that opens the gates for you to accept money. As soon as you say, I'm doing this, and you start telling people, cool, interesting things will happen if you keep your ear to the streets, as they say. But of course, it doesn't all just happen in one take, like my videos, which are perfect. You have to refine it over time. And so you're going to have to refine your pitch, refine your approach. Sometimes scratch your marketing message in totality. Scratch your avatar. Try it again. I've done it many times. You're going to have to do it. And this is the iteration process. Now, I'm truncating a long process and many years of frustration into a bullet point for your ease, okay? But the reality is, the most frequently traversed lane of this journey is the iteration and the reiteration part. And that's the one where you can't get frustrated with it, because as you do all the fun stuff to figure out who you are and what you're selling, the main thing is, can I make it fit with the market? So I encourage you to make sure you check out my free masterclass with Foundr. It's beautiful because it covers all the stuff we've talked about in this lesson, plus much more. It goes super deep. And if you want to get that, it's free. Just sign up. That's all I got for you today. Make sure you like this video, you subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment below with what you want to hear more of. I'm always here standing by watching this stuff, and it's been a pleasure talking to you today. That's all I got for you. Peace.
Hey guys, hope you're loving our videos and that you're getting heaps of value from them. If you are, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to join the Foundr fam. If you did enjoy this video and want to continue to master your skills, make sure you click here to access your free training now, where we'll go into way more depth with this founder.